5.7 practice. I'll do a couple of examples. I'm going to mix it up because I asked you to do odds or evens depending on what period you were. So if I go to number 3, identify the number of solutions or zeros. So let's put it in standard form. Basically, I just got to subtract the 6. So minus 3y to the 7th, 5y to the 5th, minus 12y, subtract 6, that leaves me with a minus 4. So now we're in standard form. My highest degree is 7, so I am going to have 7 zeros. Okay, and I will not know how many are real until I graph it. But because there's 7, I could have I could have 7 reals, which is possible. I could have, let's do 5 reals and 2 imaginaries. Now, they're not looking for this. I'm just explaining it to you. Remember, imaginaries only come in pairs. I could also have 3 reals and 4 imaginaries. And again, I'd have to graph this to make that distinction. Okay? Moving on to another example, I'll go to number 10. Okay, in number 10, I might have to use a separate sheet of paper because there's not much room to work with, but we'll see. We'll try it. Okay, so find all the zeros. All right, let's get this thing started. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So set up a synthetic division. So here's the coefficients. I got the camera on the other side. I'm trying to figure out what's best. All right, so I got to go put this in my calculator to find a 0 to divide by. So Frank, baby, here he is. Second quit rather. Y equals, clear that. That's from our notes. 2x to the 4th plus x to the q plus x squared plus x minus 1. Graph. I'm looking for x-intercepts. Okay, so just looking at this, we have a degree of 4. I should have 4 answers. It crosses twice. So I'm going to have 2 reals and 2 imaginaries. So it looks like -1 and, I don't know, maybe a half. So let's confirm -1. Okay, so I'll begin there. That's my only one that I can tell for now. So I should have a remainder of 0. Let's begin. Bring down your leading coefficient. Multiply. Add in the box. Multiply. Add in the box. Multiply. Add in the box. It's a positive 1. So we now have a new polynomial here. This will be a x cubed. And it looks like we might be able to factor by grouping. I maybe struggle at grouping, so I know there was another 0. I'm going to go find what that 0 is and divide. So I have to go back to my calculator. And let's go back to the graph. I'm going to find that 0. Second trace, 0. Definitely to the left of it. Get to the right of it. And bam. It is 1/2. Oops. Couldn't see. Sorry about that. It is 1/2. And so now I know that I can divide this with a half. Okay. So bring down the leading coefficient. Half of 2 is 1. When I add that, that's 0. Multiply that, that's 0. Add it. Half of 2 is 1. There's my remainder of 0. Okay. So my factorization, I'm going to slide it over. It looks like this. I better go up here. I got a x plus 1. I have a x minus a half. Those are from the calculator. And now I have this left. Well, 4th degree, 3rd degree, that's now a 2nd degree, so 2x squared, and I got a plus 2. Yikes. There's my imaginaries, so I need to solve that. This one's easy, we already got it. This one's easy, we already got it. I just got to solve for the imaginaries. Okay, so 2x squared plus 2 equals 0. 2x squared equals -2. Divide by 2, that's a -1. X equals plus or minus square root of -1. Whoa, sorry. x equals plus or minus I. There's my two imaginaries. 1, 2, 3, 4. Degree of 4. All right. And let's do one writing. Where we at on time? 5-minute video. Okay. Let's do an imaginary. So we just did an even. We only got one imaginary here. Let's do this one. Okay, it's a tough one. You guys should be able to do this. So get our factors. X minus 8. Pretty simple there. There's only one imaginary here, so that means we got a 2 minus I. Okay. And so this one will be x minus, I'll do parentheses, 2 plus I. And x minus 2 minus I. So let's work with these imaginaries first. Okay. So hopefully you can see that. X minus 2 minus I. Got a trinomial there. X minus 2 plus I. So 3 times 3 is going to give me 9 terms. Here we go. X times all three of those. I got an x squared minus 2x and a plus ix. Negative 2 times these three. Negative 2x plus 4 and a minus 2i. And then the last three, this negative I to all three of those. So I'll have a minus ix. I'll have a plus 2i. And I'll have a minus I squared. Running out of room here. Separate sheet is always the best. So x squared. I got a minus 4x. That's these and these combined. This cancels with this. Minus 2i cancels with a positive 2i. I squared we know is negative 1. So this is a minus 1. So that's a plus 1. Plus 4. Plus 5. Yikes. That trinomial times this binomial will give you your answer. Woo, let's do it, baby. X times these three will give me an x cubed minus 4x squared plus 5x. Now I'm going to take that negative 8 to all three of those. So minus 8x squared plus 32x, and we got a minus 40. That's a bad 4. Yikes. All right, final answer. I'm going to put it right here in this white space. So I got 1 cube. I have a couple squares, so minus 12x squared. And I got a linear, so is that 37x. And then a minus, that's a 40. It was just terribly written. Bam, there's my final answer. I didn't put it in my calculator. I did it on the note sheet. If you put that in your calculator, it should cross the x-axis right here at 8. These imaginaries make no play on the x-axis. All right, so hopefully you worked on that a little bit today. And we'll keep forging along tomorrow with those 5-8 notes and a whip whack. Get ready for this quiz.